Hi, my name is Ava Crawford, and I'm going to be presenting for Group 14. Movie theaters have long been a staple in the entertainment industry, but the global pandemic has put their future outlook in serious jeopardy. Due to COVID-19, movie theaters were forced to shut their doors for an extended period of time, causing them to suffer greatly as there was no income being generated. With this drastic loss of revenue, many movie theaters found themselves on the brink of bankruptcy, and some are forced to close their doors permanently. Our group has decided to look into AMC. Through our evidence, we have identified the issues and generated some solutions for how AMC can come back from the tragedy of COVID-19. AMC opened its first multiplex in 1962. From then on, the company began to flourish. As the first movie theater chain to add cup holders to their armrests, they were known for being innovative and ahead of their competitors. Later, the company would develop a strong online presence by providing patrons the opportunity to purchase their tickets through the company's website or a third-party vendor, allowing these customers to bypass the long lines. As much as the company cares for innovation, they do so in a way that benefits their customers. Through these innovations, AMC was able to define themselves as the front runner in this highly competitive market. AMC suffered catastrophic losses as a result of COVID-19. It was reported that AMC closed down all 598 movie theaters. The theater giant didn't begin partial opening until August of 2020. The nation's largest movie theater chain also said in an earnings report that it lost some $946 million in the last quarter of 2020 alone. A net loss of $4.59 billion for 2020 in total. Required closings makes it impossible to turn a profit. Restaurants can do online orders to make some money, but theaters have no option to stay open. Another report stated that AMC lost 92% of their business. Because of this, AMC was forced to furlough thousands of employees because of how many theaters they closed and business lost. Even with all of the issues AMC had during the pandemic, it was far from perfect before the pandemic. First, it is expensive to see a movie, from spending $30 for 2 tickets and $20 more on popcorn and a drink. Compare that to a streaming service costing $10 a month for unlimited movies and shows, which you can watch at your convenience with spending max $5 on snacks. This is the main issue for AMC and theaters in general, is dealing with how cheap and convenient streaming services are. Lastly, erosion is something that AMC must combat in an attempt to keep as many of their employees as long as possible. Many of their employees are high school students or young adults looking for a quick paycheck. There are many lone wolves at AMC, but they often seek other opportunities because they're neglected or can find better positions. There are, however, employees with the potential to succeed, but many feel their growth is being stunted by meaningless work, such as selling popcorn at 2 o'clock in the morning instead of studying or sleeping. Retaining the lone wolves and superstars is difficult because AMC has little recourse besides offering them a raise in an attempt to make the employees feel more respected. AMC has struggled to retain their frontline employees for extended periods of time anyway. The job often demands that employees stay after for midnight premieres and remain several hours after the final showing ends to clean the theaters. Most of the AMC theaters only offer minimum wage or slightly above, causing many potential employees to find suitable employment with higher pay elsewhere or get 2 jobs. Very few employees have an effective commitment to the company that would persuade them to remain loyal to AMC. These factors lead to high employee turnover rates and resulting in erosion due to coworkers' inability to develop strong bonds. Some high school students have the potential to succeed, but many feel their growth is being stunted by meaningless work. AMC is also facing other challenges such as counterproductive behaviors within the workplace. This has significantly contributed to reduced interest in attending movies at their theaters and has potentially affected their relationship with customers, along with their reputation. With a number of poor staff reviews and 67% negative customer reviews concerning trust in the company, there are several potential counterproductive behaviors. In many of the reviews, there are complaints of rude or unprofessional staff members, along with unhelpful management. They also make it apparent that some of AMC's employees could be performing counterproductive behaviors such as political deviance. Even before the pandemic upended the economy, the movie theater industry was already under pressure amid the rise of streaming services. The growth and expansion of streaming services has created a plausible threat to the future of AMC. Additionally, the company is facing several internal struggles that have been challenging their sustainability, impeding their ability to grow, and threatening their future outlook. Streaming services are actively poaching moviegoers by contracting with production companies, while some of these production companies, such as Disney, are now offering their own streaming service. The threat of the streaming service industry was evident prior to the onset of COVID-19, but was exploited as a result of AMC's inability to continue operations during the pandemic. AMC must now find a way to overcome their vulnerabilities and effectively combat the onslaught of the growing streaming service industry or risk slipping into obscurity. Retaining the lone wolves and superstars is difficult because AMC has little recourse besides offering them a raise in an attempt to make the employees feel more respected. This gesture, however, may also increase continuance commitment because it then becomes more difficult for the employee to find a higher paying job, and they would have to sacrifice their elevated status at AMC. Properly training their management team and staff will eliminate some of the controllable negativity surrounding the company. Leadership styles and employee behaviors are examples of group mechanisms that could be improved upon amongst the AMC staff. By developing a strong sense of job satisfaction and motivation within its employees, AMC can promote key components to their job performance and organizational commitment. To improve upon this, AMC must reevaluate how they assess task performance. One performance measure they can control is the number of negative interactions an employee has with a customer and how customer-employee conflicts are resolved. Management's ability to support employees in difficult conversations with customers could help to reduce the number of negative interactions with customers. AMC does, however, have some incredible opportunities that they can capitalize upon. First, many people are now experiencing cabin fever as the pandemic has dragged on and are therefore looking to get out and spend some money. And there are several movies were made available through streaming services during the pandemic. It has not satisfied those who prefer the movie theater experience. When employees began returning to work after the quarantine was lifted, it was imperative for them to trust that AMC would take the correct steps in keeping them safe and protect them from COVID-19. This trust also affects organizational commitment because trusting an authority increases the chances of an emotional bond between a company and its employees. Requiring masks, only accepting electronic tickets, and ensuring the thorough cleaning of each movie theater are examples of how AMC could potentially bolster their reputation. Many employees have felt anxious about returning to work, especially with the threat of COVID-19 still lingering. However, if AMC is able to continually take measures to establish corporate social responsibility and promote trust in its employees, they will be more likely to experience a sense of obligation and return to work. They can employ strategies for increasing job satisfaction and reducing stress for its employee, as well as building trust in its employees and customers alike. To combat the competitive assault of streaming services and to regain valuable market share, the company may need to employ some of its innovative DNA, think outside the box, and expand its offering to its customers. One thing that isn't changing is the appetite for streaming players to disrupt the movie business, just like they did television. So perhaps taking the "if you can't beat them, join them" approach may be wise. It might be smart for AMC to begin looking into ways to coexist with streaming services. AMC is clearly facing numerous challenges as it attempts to rebound post-pandemic. However, the company has several potential paths to help remedy their current dismal state. To combat the competitive assault of streaming services and to regain valuable market share, the company may need to employ some of its innovative DNA, think outside the box, and expand its offering to its customers. For instance, theaters not showing movies could be rented out and offer regionally appropriate, highly competitive professional and collegiate sporting events on the big screen. This could provide AMC with a dramatic boost in attendance and concession sales. Similarly, AMC could rent out entire theaters for private birthday parties or other special events at a set price. In fact, the company has already begun experimenting with this. AMC allows rentals of up to 20 people. According to its website, rates start at $99, excluding tax, and increase to $349 depending on the movie, the theater's location, and any other add-ons like food and drink. AMC could also offer classic holiday and seasonal movies such as The Nightmare Before Christmas or Christmas favorites like Home Alone, A Christmas Story, or Christmas Vacation, which could help bolster the ticket sales. Yet another option for AMC to regain customer engagement might be to temporarily convert some of their parking lots into drive-in theaters, allowing them to continue selling concessions and showing movies, all while reducing the need for theater cleaning and complying with social distancing laws. Supplanting streaming services from the movie industry no longer seems like a practical or even viable option. Finding a way to successfully coexist with streaming service companies by creating a strategic alliance or partnership with one of its main players, perhaps could help AMC re-solidify itself as a frontrunner in an industry that has become increasingly unpredictable. One thing is for certain, the ripple effects of COVID-19 have shaken AMC in an industry that was once thought to be immovable, while simultaneously unearthing issues that were previously much less conspicuous. The company must now revert back to its innovative roots and once again establish itself as the industry's unquestionable leader or risk becoming another forlorn casualty of the global pandemic.